No buses from the southern border expected to arrive here in Chicago today. Second day in a row without migrants arriving by bus, and it comes just days after Governor Pritzker reached out directly to Texas Governor Greg Abbott. In a letter, Pritzker urged Governor Abbott to pause drop-offs this past weekend due to the winter storm. Abbott replied that Texas will continue to send migrants until the president secures the border.
Well, those migrants that were transported or to be transported from Rockford have not yet arrived here. That's according to the personnel that's on site here. They say that the migrants, the dozen plus so that are already here, have spent the night here.
Tonight, officials warning Chicago is approaching a breaking point. Tents full of desperate migrants lining Chicago's iconic Lakeshore Drive. Migrant shelters inside O'Hare Airport. A total of 17,000 migrants showing up since last August, and officials expect 1,200 per day to keep coming.
There are other issues this afternoon in migrant shelters other than measles, the condition of the food at many of the facilities.
Yeah, some migrants are now buying their own meals, even as the city spends millions to feed them. Lourdes Duarte has been looking into that, and she has tonight's WGN Investigates. Lourdes?
To the migrant crisis in Chicago now, the state of Illinois says it will temporarily set up hotel rooms to safely house migrant families. At the request of the city of Chicago, the Illinois Department of Human Services made 30 hotel rooms available yesterday, with more rooms for up to 200 people coming online today.
Tens of thousands of migrants continue to be bused from the southern border to Chicago, and the Illinois governor has had enough. J.B. Pritzker says there is, quote, an untenable situation in his state. The Democrat sent a letter to President Biden outlining what the federal government should do to mitigate the growing migrant crisis, not just in Chicago, but also in other U.S. cities.
Dressed in jean shorts and tube socks, this new arrival is shivering as he and others are getting a good taste of a Chicago winter. There are about 280 migrants at the city's landing zone, packed into warming buses, waiting for shelter as the cold rain pours down.
Last week, we spoke to a councilman in Illinois who called on wealthy residents to open up their homes to migrants. Ashley, good morning to you. Are they reversing course?
Good morning. Oh, yes, they are. The affluent suburb of Naperville, it's about 30 miles west of Chicago, decided to ditch that controversial migrant housing proposal.
That topic, tomorrow Mayor Brandon Johnson was set to hold a meeting with other local mayors to discuss the migrant situation. That meeting's been postponed to Wednesday, yes, due to weather. The mayors are set to discuss strategies to deal with the influx of new arrivals, including new bus ordinances, which many suburbs have adopted in recent weeks.
Now Chicago is building sprawling tent camps to get migrants off the streets of places like this ahead of the cold winter months. Democratic Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker slamming President Biden for not doing enough, writing, the federal government's lack of intervention and coordination at the border has created an untenable situation for Illinois.